So here we go with game 2 between Aegis Nordlichter and Crveni Mundiri here. It's Crveni Mundiri's home map, and they've gone with Team Islands for this one. So water-based map here, lots of water where it's important to have control over it because of all the food eco found in the fish along the islands here. Also, if you're losing water, you'll have a hard time dealing damage to the opponents because essentially you won't be able to transport over and deal any damage on land. So Team Islands, each team on their island, just as it sounds like. You'll be seeing landings usually at some point in these games, but the early game tends to bring lots of water fighting with fire galleys or galleys micro. So let's have a look at the civilizations here, starting with Aeno again here. We have the Persians for Clemens 103 here. Fantastic civilization for water and hybrid maps or anything. So Persians, let me just find their tech tree to show the bonuses here, because they have start with a little bit extra resources. Their town centers and docks are twice as strong, and they start working faster already from the feudal age. So Persians just amazing boom potential. They will, if it goes to the late game, Persians will lag behind a little bit to other civs, because Persians don't get bracer. So that's one extra range for the war galleys. That could be an issue for the late game. But the economy of Persians, fantastic for the early game on water and hybrid maps. To the left-hand side, we have Byzantines for Mr. Saltman. So Byzantines, they are classified as a defensive civ, but they also have some things going for them on water, with the fire ships attacking 25% faster. So you definitely want to play into the fire ships, fire galleys for the Byzantines. And on the right side, we have Rollo here with the Italians. Also another go-to pick for water maps, with their dock technologies being cheaper. Fishing ships cheaper as well, so you can have an amazing food in common water with Italians. And also going up through the Aegis costs less, so you have an easier transition through to feudal caste and imperial Aegis with Italians. Now let's see what Crveni Mundiri is bringing to the field here. We have Spanish pocket for Irvin RS. Maybe thinking about the late game for the cannon galleons benefiting from ballistics. Could be useful. And the builders work faster, so you get your docks up faster. And in the event of a landing, if you want to drop a castle, for example, on land, of course it's an advantage having Spanish building faster. But that's just one of the bonuses. You don't see Spanish picked on pure water maps all that frequently. So, but could be a smart choice maybe if you want to go for some landing place. On the left side we have Malay for Pero, very obvious water save as well. Their fish traps simply never run out of food, so you can have an amazing fish boom with Malay. They also have a unique technology for their docks in the Castle Age, which allows their docks to shoot arrows, so it secures your naval situation a bit more than any other civ because of that. They also age up through the ages 66% faster, something that's very useful for any water map where we need to be up early. So on the right hand side, finally, we have Italians for Nicola PL here. As mentioned before, they go pay less to go up to the feudal caste than the imperial ages, and generally have a lot of bonuses going for them water. You see the Italians first fishing ship already out here for Nicola PL, because their fishing ships are simply cheaper. A little bit of a difference in villager counts here though. Mr. Saltman seems to have the least idle time of all here, so doing a good job at keeping things going. It's so easy to get housed on water maps because you're producing out of 2 buildings simultaneously, even in the Dark Age. You want to produce fish and villagers at the same time, because the fishing ships will bring in lots of easy food from the water. So let's have a look at the fishing ship situation. One here for Pera as well. Spanish going for the back dock here, so Irvin RS might have some plans for a fast castle play here. That's quite common, not necessarily a clear indication, but if you go for the back dock like this, you have a more secure fish boom for a bit later, a bit longer, and it should facilitate the transition into the cast stage. However, it means that you won't have as much to contribute on land or on the other side to the naval fighting. So Pera and Nicolas PL will have to take responsibility here not to lose the water control if Irvin RS is going for a fast castle age play instead. We have fuel age on the way for the whole of Aegis Nordlichter though, so let's see what they will be doing here for Team Islands. Now, often on Team Islands you see the players dropping their second dock on the way up to fuel age, because you want masses of units going into the fuel age on water, so you want your second dock ready to produce galleys once you reach the fuel age, but I don't see any of them dropping another one just yet, so maybe they're not stressing that water fighting all that much. So you have Nicola PL going up at 28 pop here, is using that Italian's fishing ships bonus, the fact that they are cheaper. It might be an issue though, with 3 enemy docks on their side here, and their team might having the dock in the back here, because if Aeno here takes the control of the water early on, that means that Nicola PL will likely lose all of the fish and struggle quite a bit for food income. Oh, and poor woman here is being chased by no less than 3 lions here. So that's just maximum bad fortune for Irvin RS here. Losing the villager, going to drop the second dock, which would be forward for the Spanish civilization player. Now look at the armies being added here now. We have 2 docks for the Malay player, Pera here. Firegal is good out of both of them. Same goes for Byzantines, and unfortunately for Pera, Byzantines is on their side. So with the Byzantines fast firing fire galleys, that's going to be tough for the Malay player if they are in equal numbers. Nicolas PL with the fire galleys as well. 3 docks up now, which is good for the production. Looks like Crveni Mundiri are in a good spot here now, but Clemens isn't fooling around here. He's going straight for a landing here with the Persians. Good spot there by Irvin RS to see that the enemy has landed. That doesn't stop the Persians player from dropping a stable though, but we might see a failed landing here. A bit of a sloppy quick walling the villagers here from Clemens, not quite saving the villager, and pops right back into the transport ship to probably find somewhere else to land here. Nice, yeah, 1 scout. Even how heroic you might be, you can't fight 3 scouts on your own. So that's a failed stable. Good awareness again from Crveni Mundiri here to stop the first landing from happening here. You have some naval action, and looks like Aeno are taking the lead on water here. Just note how the Byzantine ships are firing faster here. And I want to note as well that Aeno's economy overall looks a lot more solid here in terms of villager numbers. Also translating to fishing ships numbers here for them. 3rd dock going up for Rollo as well, and Nicola PL trying for the galleys here to hit and run a bit. Here come the fire galleys as well. Looks like Nicola PL will be able to hold their side okay here actually. But in return, the Malay player on the left side flank will struggle a bit against numbers here. And Clemens makes another landing here, and this time walls in the villager perfectly to not be stopped by enemy scouts here. Thanks for casting, no worries. Just appreciate seeing good games. So it's been a good run so far. Yeah, looks like 1 or 2 Malay docks will be going down here, so Peroy will need to relocate. He's dropping some back docks here now. Unfortunately, that kind of wood investment, that's going to impair both the potential for more ships on water and and delay their castle age as well. Pera does have 30 villagers though, has gone to berries to compensate a bit for the lack or repositioning on fish, but now we have stables up for Clemens here, and it's going to run around and be quite annoying here. So let's see what the situation is like. We're going to go to Clemens' point of view now to see what kind of scouting intel they are gathering here. 3 scouts now running around trying to find somewhere to hit where there might not be spearmen. For example, Erwin RS in the pocket here doesn't have any land army presence at all. So this is where Clemens could run in and deal some serious damage, because he wouldn't have needed to worry about spearmen on the field to take out the scouts here. We have a flare on the water as well. Nicola PL investing heavily into water here, but gets the payoff for it as well. Will of course be later to the next stage, but it's most certainly taking good control on their side here. Erwin RS providing as well, and so far none of the players going to the castle age, with Nicola PL actually and Pero actually being the ones closest to doing so. Good raids from Clemens here on Erwin RS, now getting a few of the berry picking villagers. I love how he's hitting the food as well, because that's going to make it much more awkward to keep the TC producing. Ideally you want to hit the wood or the gold, or maybe the gold, because that would also stop Erwin RS from being able to produce army on water. But villagers going down left and right here. Erwin RS going to be at 33 villagers or so very soon. And yeah, look at this block even. This is disaster for the pocket of Crveni Mundiri here. Unfortunately, they did spot the first landing. They did not manage to stop the next one. Pero did react to the barracks. Good call there, but meanwhile their pocket is under heavy distress here, with 5 scouts just running around stopping all resource income here. It's a bit of an oversight for Clemens though, being here dealing so much damage, not to acknowledge that Erwin RS is taking gold over here, because that will be the next place you'd want to hit to make sure that Erwin RS can't invest into fire-like galleys like they're doing now. There's still lots of economy lost here though, and Aeno here with a serious villager lead over their enemies. Byzantine's fire galleys now chasing to some extent the armies of Nicola PL here, and I think if they work together here they could win this fight, maybe simply due to the faster firing Byzantine's galleys, or fire galleys rather. There we go, the gold is being hit, so maybe Clemens heard me after all, and running in here for some kills on the villagers. Some demos on the move here, and giving... yeah, might as well demo the fishing ship here now. It's a very good cleanup here by Aeno now. Cast stage just kicked in for Mr. Saltman, and Aeno providing the demolition. Good coordination on water here for Aeno to take out the fire ships on Nicola PL here. Military count for Pera, however, it seems high, but I get the impression that it's okay. Has invested into quite a few fire galleys here. Still feudal age though, and that's going to be an issue against demolition ships and fire ships from the Byzantine player. But some pickoffs here maybe for Pera on water even before the fire ship kicks in. So good engagements after all. More landing shenanigans here from Clemens. Clemens is mainly playing the land game here now. Now well on the way to the castle age, and is going for the double stables. Double stables Knights rush here, probably looking to hit Nicola PL next over here. So let's see if Nicolas PL has some scouting intel over here. Does not see the landing, does not react. Otherwise, some easy wall-offs would keep the Knight's aggression out here, from at least from Nicolas PL. War Galley is now out for Nicolas PL though, so some hit and run micro here could easily take out these fire galleys, but we need coordination here. Now Irvin RS is working kind of as mid shield here. Nicolas PL needs to... Well, they're pulling back, but I think with the fire galleys of Irvin RS in front here and war galleys in the back, these 4 fire galleys would be history for Rollo. So let's see the landing situation here. It's Knight's production out of at least 1 stable here for Clemens. Yeah, just going to gather up on these Knights, and we see this stable is down, but there's another one over here to pump out units to try and deal damage. Maybe Nicolas PL is the place to hit now. His woodline is extremely exposed here with 23 villagers walking long distance from both the mining camp and the woodline here. And no wonder, so there's been lots of focus on water and micro on the water fighting, so I can see why they aren't really replenishing drop-off points here. It's just so much to handle at once when you're playing water maps. Gathering up on the war galleys here though, looking good. Only missing careening here for defense for the ships, and they should be looking fit for fight here. Extending the economy as well, 3rd TC now to take stones and golds here. But now look on the left-hand side for Mr. Saltman's army here. Against Pera, still with the feudal age units, unfortunately. Forever feudal age here for Pera, given good investments into naval army. But when you're fighting against almost equal numbers of cast age military from the opponent, there's just not much to do about it. Terra will do their best to try and escape here and maybe flee towards Nicolas PL. Maybe even get a surround on the enemy over here. Who knows? I think Pera is on the way over to gather close to Nicolas PL. Let's see the Knights though. No engagement. Just look at the Knights numbers just increasing and increasing for Clemens here. Doesn't want to engage before the numbers have reached a serious number here to just finish everything off. I mean, if you have 20 Knights or so with +2 defense, you could sit under the TC and take out town centers even with your Knights, because you take so little damage from the arrows from the town centers. Again, some good engagements from Mr. Saltman here, taking out small numbers of stray units here. In fact, did take out most of the military of Pera here. Pera in the cast stage now, but with very little military to benefit from it. Nicolas PL, however, does have 22 war galleys here at work now. Has gone into careening as well. That's a technology that Mr. Saltman hasn't taken into yet. So Mr. Saltman will be even more vulnerable to the war galleys not having careening, because careening provides you some extra defense against other fire from other ranged units. So Nicolas PL doing a heck of a job on water now, but imagine if Clemens sends these knights right into Nicolas PL's economy now. Nicolas PL only focusing on water, doesn't have any land military presence at all. It's just going to be devastating if the knights run in here. In Crveni Mundiri's defense though, they are, even though they are lacking behind in villagers, they are doing a great job on water on the right hand side now, and Nicolas PL might very well just win water on their own here. The issue being that they will be subject to land attack at some point. I don't know what Clemens is waiting for here. Probably wanting enough knights to take out town center, missing that +2 armor as well, but that's right on its way here. Meanwhile, we have Mr. Saltman on the other side, again taking out the docks and army production potential on water for Pera here. And Clements or someone is flaring on land now. Let's see how Irvin, for example, will react to the mass knights coming their way now. So Clemens is going for the pocket again, going for the Spanish player. Something I don't quite understand when you have a green player with these kinds of investment on water. Maybe just looking to defeat one player here and take Urban RS completely out of the game. There's a good fish boom going on in the back here that hasn't been addressed at all by either of the Aeno players, but Irvin will be losing his town center here. I mean, yet again be losing lots of villagers to some serious raids here. Fully upgraded knights, and we probably have around 20 of them here, I'd say. And that raid turns out to be the game changer. Even with Nicolas Piel's massive investment on water here and winning water back, it's going to take Crveni Mundiri out of the game simply due to the land investment here. So a bit of unlucky with the scouting on land not to see the two stables going up here. And that's why you see players often placing houses near the shoreline all the way along the shore like this, because then you'd be getting a heads up when there is a landing happening. Hey, Baradin, thanks for the raid, my man. We're casting some Crusade games here now, a 3v3 tournament arranged by Drushina Clan and Palm-AOE. Yeah, good luck in round 3, guys. And let me just browse through the stats quickly, and then we'll be going to the next set. Thanks to follow for Tito as well. Tito. El Pollo Triste is the best team in the world. I hear you. We'll be looking out for them. Nicola Piel, MVP on water, though, has to be said. 65-32 KD, largest RB as well. Great job on water from Nicola Piel, even if their team loses. So, yeah, I'll be on the lookout for the next round, for sure. I'm doing my own tournament starting February 2nd, so I'll have limited time from there on out, but well, we'll see what we can do. So that would be a 2-0 for Aegis Nordlichter.